give some advice on that because actually I'm going through that right now because I do have a full-time job and I'm limited work where we have people who are on unemployment and it's very hard, but businesses are getting hit very hard and some are able to help their employees and some are not, unfortunately. This is just a time where like, if it's happening to you, it's happening to me personally. With my full-time job, I went from 40 hours a week to 20, and then I have to file for unemployment for the other 20. So I have to do what I have to do, and I'm laid off for 30 days until this goes back to normal or whenever it does. When I was channeling with my angels last night, they did say something about April 30th. We should start to first see a change, but if your company is doing that, just I know where I am in California, we have there's a site where you can apply for temporary relief. Some companies are working with the county to get it set up. So just where you live, find out information, talk to your human resource department, find out what they can offer you, where you can go to apply for this aid. They're saying there's no wait, that you should get the money, the check right away. So that should help. And just know, like, everything is happening for a reason. So if people are losing their jobs, then the jobs will come back. So just trust that. Everyone's going through it. I know so many people out here in California because the majority of businesses can't handle what's going on.
Yeah, this is it. It's just the repeat of the same message, which is trust. But the other extra piece of information is understand this, guys. All business, basically all business except for Amazon. Everyone knows I joke about how Amazon's going to take over the world, but apart from Amazon, but most businesses on the entire planet rely upon the planet being normal, quite frankly. And I don't think so other than Amazon, literally other than Amazon, and if you are someone who delivers food for a living, you know, shopping deliveries or whatever, unless you're in that tiny minority of food delivery or Amazon, basically the entire planet is in this position. There's nobody thriving except for Amazon and food deliveries, you know. So I mean, those that are losing their job apply to do food deliveries or apply to Amazon, basically, you know. But yes, trust the process. This is happening for everybody. We're all in this together, and the governments do have access to money and they can provide relief, and they will, because they will have to. Because if we can't all pay our rent, what are they going to do? Evict the entire country? Evict the whole planet? Where are we being evicted?
They can't do that.
It's hilarious. So this is what I'm saying. There's strength in numbers. We're all suffering together. I do not know a single person in any business except Amazon and a news anchor that I have as a client and food delivery people. Everybody else on the planet is really suffering right now. So do take some, I'm trying to get the word they're saying, some comfort in the fact that everybody is in this boat. We're all in this boat together. All of our businesses are being affected. I'm so proud of the girls that are signing up with me now, because this is a tough time to do inner work, but it's also the most important time that's ever been on planet Earth to do the work. So, you know, it is what it is. But understand that, you know, everyone is being affected in different ways, but we're all being affected. So what is that part of the process, us all struggling together? Yes, it's us struggling together, but it's also the government being strong-armed into loving and caring for us, because they got no fucking choice.
Yeah, and they have to learn to get along and stop with their bullshit. They really do. They need to stop with the arguing. Put down the swords, play nice.
Well, here's the thing. The baddies are going to go bye-bye. The baddies are going to go bye-bye, and then we will be left with people that are in a state of peace. There's a lot of people in peace. There's just the remaining bad ones, the black hats, that really had bad plans for humanity, but they're not going to get any of it done now. They're fucked. Yeah, and because even people ask me, you know, because I speak a lot of truth in my IGTV series, and people are like, whoa. And I was like, these guys are like, got way bigger things to worry about than me right now. These guys are like literally on the run for their lives. I'm not worried. No, this is the time. And what I want is people to learn this stuff, and then they're speaking it. Eventually, I want this to be a chorus of all of these loving 5D women talking about this 4D stuff, but talking about it from a place of love and a place of hope and a place of positivity and excitement. Because the same way all the conspiracy shit is real, so's the free power and the health regeneration equipment that's all going to come in, because we are 50 years ahead in technology. We just didn't know it. All of the great patents, you know, like if someone designs something really clever and they send it to the government to get a patent, to get a number, well, the things that are genuinely amazing, they actually get held by the government. The government just holds on to it and says, sorry, you can't do anything with it. We're just holding this. We're holding this. So there. And it's all going to get released now. So the fact is the government has to feed us, has to house us. We're like these little children and they can't do anything about it because we are here. And guess what? The white hat side of the government doesn't want to hurt us anyway. And the black hats, they were evil motherfuckers and they're going. So there we go.
Yes. Huh. But I did see a comment come by that I just want to, she said, because somebody made a comment that the grocery stores are required to work, which they are. And to those who do work in the grocery store, God bless you. Thank you so much. You are just as important as a first responder, because you are putting your life on the line. You are taking the sacrifice to be around people. You don't know where they've been. You don't know who they've been around. You don't know if they're listening or if they're continuing to go out in public when they're told not to. So you guys should be rewarded very, very strongly by your company. And even Amazon workers, because I did see today that 9 of their hubs, they had workers test positive for the virus. So now they're saying when you get a package from Amazon, and everyone should do this, before you get it from anybody, don't touch the box unless you have gloves on. Open the box, take the stuff out, and then throw the box out immediately, and then throw the boxes out. So just make sure that you are you're taking precaution. And if you are in a business where you have to work, and even the medical professionals, thank you for everything. You're at the front line of it all, because you're treating these patients. And rock stars, once again, like everybody is doing their part. Some people are just doing their part by staying positive, but some are actually seeing it face to face, and it's very scary.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a friend who's a nurse, and she's afraid that she's going to bring it home to her family every night when she leaves work. So it's just an eye opener to know, like, we all rally together and just send positivity and love, and just know that they're doing everything that they can. And I've even seen like the automotive manufacturers, they're like, we can make ventilators, and you have companies like Bethany Frankel got this manufacturer to make masks. All these things are being made here. So this is showing us that we don't need to make certain things in other countries. We can make the stuff here. And this is an eye-opener to show that we need to be more sufficient to take care of our needs here. So that way, in the end, if this ever happens again, we're more prepared and the whole world won't have to shut down.
Yeah, this is interesting. My angels just said something really nice. They just said that, can you already see the equality happening? That right now, you know, the healthcare workers across the world have never received the amount of respect and that they deserve, and now it's happening. But in addition, supermarket workers and food delivery people were never treated with the level of respect. And so can you see it? It almost makes me feel emotional. Can you feel the shift? There's this huge shift. Yeah. It's like I said on another live, I said the celebrities ain't doing shit. Can you now see how useless they all are? You know? Yeah. Like literally, this is the new celebrities are the girls working in the grocery stores. That's the new celebrities. That's the people to celebrate. Sorry, my angels are being really like emotional about that. But it's true. It's very true. It's very, very true. And this is part of the equalizing. The world is equalizing in its right way. It's coming into how it's going to be. Let me see, there was something else that I saw. What was it? She's a manager at Sprouts. Oh, bless you. The great thing is, though, here's the thing. Working for the supermarket also means the benefit is you are the first in line for food, and you are the first in line for news about any problems with food supply delivery and
That's
stuff
true.
like that.
That's
so you
true.
have a benefit, and if you work in a restaurant, same thing. So there's benefits to a lot of this stuff. The same way that the hospital staff, there always has to be food in a hospital for the patients, so that the patients don't die. The food has to be in the hospital. So there's always going to be food in hospitals. So just understand. But again, this thing is going to start tailoring off as we get into April, okay? As we get into mid-April, towards the end of April. But I am being told to go through the basics of this, though, because here's what is happening, okay? There's been so many yucky movies that were paid for by the bad guys. And these movies were to subconsciously train us that when something like this happened, that we would automatically respond in a certain way. So here's the thing, guys. This actual virus isn't like that clever, okay? It's just an adapted flu virus. So here's the thing. If you want to go outside and do whatever you're doing, if you are wearing gloves, okay, I've ordered some gloves, so I'm definitely not against wearing gloves. You're wearing gloves. And here's the thing. If you don't have a mask, don't worry. As long as I'm actually going to go to the supermarket with a bandana on. I'm going to look like I'm someone like doing the whole gang sign shit, you know. But here's the reason why: is that basically the way that you catch this. Let's imagine someone wanted to catch the bug. Okay, let me tell you what they would do. They'd have bare hands. They would touch all available metal surfaces, so door handles, railings, whatever. You'd touch all these metal surfaces, and then what you would do is you'd keep putting your fingers near your mouth and in your mouth. This is if you wanted to catch it. So what the mask does is, obviously if someone sneezes literally like in your face, like here to here, like literally in your face, if they sneeze in your face, it's possible to contract it, I believe. But the chances of that happening are very low, you know. So if you wanted to catch it, you would have to be touching these surfaces and then putting your fingers on or around your mouth. Then once it's been in your mouth, it sits there for a few days, then it works its way down to your throat. Now, when it gets to your throat, as long as you drink lots of hot drinks, this thing was created in a laboratory in China in a refrigerated condition. So it doesn't do well over 12 degrees centigrade. So in which case, a UV light, sunlight kills it. So does lots of hot tea. Drink lots of hot tea. What it will do is if it's living in your throat and you drink the hot tea, it will flush it down to your stomach acid, and your stomach will destroy it because that stomach acid is strong as fuck. Here's the problem. If it sits in your throat and you don't flush it away, it will gradually seep into your lungs. Once it seeps into your lungs, it goes into the tiny little cilia pieces inside the lungs, and then it turns into a hard mucus. So now I've explained what you do if you want to catch it. I think now everyone gets the idea that as long as you don't touch your mouth or have someone sneeze this close to you, and when you come home, just strip off everything and throw it straight in the washing machine. Or if you have a balcony or a garden that has sunlight, take all your clothes and stick them outside in the sunlight so that the UV light can kill it. Now, as long as your house is clean, you're okay. You're okay. So understand, it's not like you're going to walk down the street and there's no one around and suddenly this thing's just going to go into your body. It's not. It's just a silly bloody flu virus that's been adapted to do yucky stuff once it gets in. But it's not clever at getting to us. That's all those movies that showed things that were like, you know, in the air, like gas and all that. It's not like that. It's on metal surfaces. That's what it's been designed to live on. It can go on pets and sofas and cushions and clothes, but it doesn't last as long on them. That way, as long as you wash your stuff, it just hates hot water. You know, it just hates hot water. So like my dog today, I poured warm water, not hot obviously, but that as warm as he could. He actually quite enjoyed it. And I know there's nothing on him now because that warm water would have killed it because it was above 12 degrees centigrade. Yeah. So it's important because you know how a lot of people are just walking scared, but in fact, if you don't touch your mouth, and a fun solution, wear really bright red or pink glossy lipstick, because you know when you wear glossy lipstick, you're conscious of your mouth and you don't touch your mouth. Do that.
That's true.
Stop you touching your mouth. Okay, guys. So I think I should probably do this final download. I did refer to it in the stories, and my angels said it, and quite often when my angels tell me something quite serious, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, there's something where it could have a negative reaction, you know, and they make me do it. So here's the thing, they just said the second biggest pandemic on the planet right now is women getting back with toxic ex-partners. Because the result of that, so women are feeling scared and vulnerable, worried about money and food and their physical safety, and it's making them vulnerable to men that they previously had distanced themselves from because they knew those men were toxic for them. They then reconnect with this man, they sleep with this man. Sleeping with this man who you know to be toxic, who you know has a lower vibration than you, brings your vibration down, and it's just, it's happening everywhere. And here's the interesting thing, how this connects with the great separation that's happening with girlfriends. This has been happening since Christmas, January, February, and now into March too. And they tried it on me at Christmas. They tried to convince me. There's something I call shadow whispers, and it's not ego. It's actually outside of us, but you can hear it. And if you're not very spiritually aware, you can assume it's you. And in fact, if you are spiritually aware, it's pretty tough to decipher too. But it basically was trying to tell me that I was to get back with my ex from 2014 and to make a baby with him. And so this is what the darkness on the 4D, upper 4D level is trying to do to the earth angels right now, is to convince us to get back with the ex-husband, to get back with the ex-boyfriend, to get back with someone we already separated ourselves with, get back with them. And the goal of the darkness is for us to fall pregnant by them. Why? It will fuck up our twin flame journey. Why? Because it will lower our vibration. When our vibration lowers, then we go into the great separation from our high vibration female friends. So now you're even more isolated and you sink even more into the relationship. So I need everybody to be aware of the second biggest pandemic is getting back with the ex, the toxic ex. What do you think about that, my darling?
That's interesting, because I had an ex try to come back like a month ago, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "No," I didn't even respond. But I've had other people message me saying, "I got a text," or an ex reached out, and I'm like, "Don't do it," because that was coming up, I think, like a couple months ago, like when 2020 first started. They were saying you're going to see exes come out of the woodwork, or people come out of the woodwork. So it's just important they're an ex for a reason. Remember that. Like this ex that tried to contact me, I refer to him as my lesson, and that is how he is in my cell phone. So I know it's him when he texts me. I have him as my lesson. So when it comes up, my phone reminds me, he's your lesson. Don't respond.
I had the same thing. I have one.
Do you really?
I have one, and I've just put the first letter R and then ignore.
Nice.
So it's just ignore, you know,
yeah.
Because obviously they're preying on the vulnerable right now as well. You know, they're feeling scared, their vibration's low. They want to go and be soothed by some wonderful lady. And that wonderful lady, if she's in a state of fear, is likely to make some bad decisions. And again, if the darkness gets its way and you fall pregnant during this time with that ex, then the darkness really got its way, because that's really going to cause some issues with your twin flame union this year, because this year is twinning year. It's happening this year. And so they wouldn't be trying so hard to get us all back with our exes. And here's the other thing. Ask yourself what your vibrational number was from 1 to 10. If 1 is low and 10 is high, ask yourself what your vibrational number was when you were last with that man. And ask yourself if that's the number you want to be at now. Because say you're an 8 right now, or a 6. Let's say 6. 6, 7 is average for the earth angels right now. So say you're at 6, 7, and you're like, well, when I was with him, I think I was at 5. Then the simple question you need to ask yourself when they come back in is, do you want to go back to 5? Because you will. You will.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the same thing as with the girlfriends. You will digress and go back down instead of rising above. So I see there's a comment about, what about twin flames and karmics? And I actually had a message come through. Karmics are being exposed right now. Any karmics that are trying to manipulate, use black magic, do anything to keep the masculines, they're being exposed. That's part of this quarantine period. The masks are off. they're going to be exposed. And then it's up to each masculine to decide, do I stay or do I go? So
it's good. Well, this is it. It's making the men realize, like, you know, let's imagine we just go into fear for a minute, because it's the easiest way to describe this. But if the man is like, oh my God, you know, what if I'm not here much longer? Who do I really want to spend this with? Is this who I really want to spend my last days with? And him thinking that way is actually a positive, because it's making him realize, like, you know, this is not the life I want. I need to go and pursue what I really love and what I really need. Here's the other thing. All of us earth angels are shining right now. We are glowing and shining, whereas those ladies are not. They're dimming down. And so we're naturally attracting our DMs. What if the karmic is a nice person? We don't, here's the thing, guys, we're not God. We don't control any of this. This is out of our hands. Let's say we wanted our DM to stay with his karmic. We couldn't do that either. We're not in control. We have to let go and let God. It's just happening. The difference is that in his life that he was leading before, he was able to continue with the same habits, even if they were bad habits, like pursuing just money or something like that. Well, this whole situation is making him in a different reality where he's having to think about the things that he avoided thinking about. So again, I'm actually like the girl that has a fake relationship with my twin. It's like platonic, and it's a publicity stunt contract thing between her manager and his manager to pretend to be together. You know, I love her. I love her. Guess what? Her birthday's 2 days before mine. She was born the same year as me. You know, I mean, she's absolutely his false twin, because her energy probably has some similar signatures to mine, because we're literally 3 days apart from each other on this planet, you know. But here's the thing, all of this, we couldn't change it if we want to. So like I said, we're not the ones that are exposing the karmics are exposing themselves. Do you want to stop them exposing themselves? Maybe to give them tips on how to pretend to be a DF? Obviously not. I'm just being silly. And that question was from Dale, one of my most lovely clients on the entire planet. Hello, Jodie Lee. Everyone, if you want to say hello to Jodie Lee, she's the global assistant. She posts all my live videos every day. She is tirelessly working to make sure that any live I do always appears. So if everyone just... Thank you, Jodie Lee.
Thank you.
But yeah, so here's the thing, guys, you know, so just understand that this is God, and God is exposing everything, and all we are to do is to continue shining and serving. And if we still have some work left to do, it really is the time now to pick up the book, or if anyone wants to book a free call with me, and I can actually go through some details with you and see if I can help you put together a plan so that you can get your healing done quick. Because this is it, guys, we all want to get to this calm place so that we can actually bring our twin in, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, what can they do if they want to book, like, can they book a reading with you? Like, is it, through your website or something?
Yeah, I have an Etsy shop. The link's in my bio, so I have different types of readings. I mostly do love readings. I do have one reading. It's Butterfly Intuition. It's a career reading. So you can go to my Etsy shop and you can look around, or you can message me and tell me what you're looking for, and I can recommend something. And then I always leave my messages open. Like, if you have a question that's general, like especially during this time, like I'm happy to give you advice and maybe recommend a book or something you could be reading, especially if you have some downtime at home. Like, find books that I could recommend to help you do healing. Because I know for me personally, like one of the things I'm doing Byron Katie's work. I'm going to be starting that actually this afternoon to help me with some healing that I need to do to get me ascending and stuff. So just, you know, you can contact me there and send me a message on here. I read everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the thing, like, what's so great is that, like, you know, what I do is I have the spiritual coaching company, but I always encourage my clients to do the readings, because it's like a laser focus on your relationship, on your twin. What I do is I help women get to a place where their mind is quiet, where they feel calm, where their intuition's strong, their guidance is fully on point and fully online. I help them to get to that place so they can make good decisions in their life moving forward for the rest of their life. But when you need that laser focus just on your twin, and we all need it, I'm lucky because a lot of the girls that I do the lives with offer to do them for me, and I'm like, yay, why not? You know, it's fun. But yeah, so I totally recommend, you know, having readings. And if you do have any healing left and you're not really sure where to go to get that healing done, that is what I specialize in. A lot of my clients are happiness coaches, they are fitness coaches, they are lawyers and surgeons and accountants and nurses, all sorts of people, you know. There was a question about karmics. Now, this is obviously very sort of, it's very common twin flame language, but basically a karmic is, so there's sort of mainly 3 types of relationships. Your karmic is someone that you are with that's to teach you a lesson, and your experience with them is kind of negative. That's normally what the karmic is. This is in very simplistic terms. Then you have soulmates. Soulmates you actually know from other lives, and they are a pleasant part of your life, and they can be romantic or family. But then the twin flame is only for the earth angels. Not everybody has a twin flame. And the twin flame is literally the same soul split into 2 bodies. So, for example, when I met my divine masculine in 2009, the first thing he said to me is, do you know you're me? He said, you're my soulmate, you're me, you're me. He obviously didn't know the term twin flame. To him, soulmate was the most, you know, biggest word he knew. And he was like, you're me, you're me. And so, yeah, so a twin flame is actually the same soul split in 2 bodies, and we split apart often because we trigger each other's inner wounds that we still have, and then we both go away and heal our wounds and go on a healing journey. And the female in the female in the twin flame relationship tends to be the spiritual leader, and so as she grows and evolves and rises, it actually enables the male to start rising up too, which is what they're all doing now.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay! Finally.
Yes. Did you want to add anything to that, darling? Because you're an expert. Just because we like to go when we want to go. We don't want anyone telling us when to go.
I know. Can you change that to where it's more like you put the time you want for a life instead of an hour?
Exactly.
Make that change, Instagram. Come on.
Exactly. On the other hand, I'm actually just very grateful that Instagram is powerful enough that it's able to work when the entire globe is all on it at once, which was a worry that with the amount of people in here, that you know, they never would have expected this much of the population to be signed into Instagram all at once. So Instagram's actually doing pretty well from that perspective, holding up under the pressure, don't you think? Because it's probably
absolutely.
It's probably 6 times what they ever thought was their maximum usage.
Well, yeah, because I've noticed a lot of people that I follow are going live all the time, and I'm like, oh, well, that's good that people are using their time to put messages out and just do fun things, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. It looks like everybody jumped back. So that's So you're going to go into just a little bit more detail about karmics and soulmates and twins.
Yeah. So if you're in a twin flame connection where your counterpart, mostly feminines follow me, so masculine is with a karmic, he is going to be faced with a choice, and then he has to make that choice. And the same goes for feminines who are in a karmic relationship or situation. Sometimes the karmic doesn't have to be an actual person. It could be just a job situation, a behavior, a pattern, you know, something they learned as a kid from their parents. So they're going to be faced with a choice to say, hey, like, if you could live tomorrow, what would you want to do with your life? And then if your counterpart has a soulmate, now a soulmate is a nicer person, because a lot of, at least the karmics that I've heard about, are just not nice, and they're very manipulative, and they, they do, I don't know, just the ones that I've heard of from my clients. So
no, you're right. You're right.
and I've heard other readers say it too. Usually karmics aren't nice people because they're in low vibration, because they're trying to keep someone because they have that want, that need, instead of just being open to letting that person just be with them because they want to. But a soulmate connection is something more beautiful.
Sorry, before you do soulmate, darling, can I just add one on karmic?
Yeah, of
so
course.
With karmic, one of the good ways to know it is that they actually hinder your spiritual development. So soulmates will encourage it and actually talk with you about it. A karmic will actually hinder it. So here's an example. If I have someone that wants to sign up for one of my programs and they speak to their husband and he's a soulmate, the soulmate husband will be like, no, I support you, I understand. If she happens to be in union with her twin will actually work with me. Like literally, he'll be like, what did you learn? And he'll remind her. And twins actually, like, that's how I've been able to see so specifically. And then a karmic will literally be like, no, if you do that, I'll leave you. That's when you can tell the karmic.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the difference between the two. A soulmate wants to help you grow just like a twin flame does. Even if your twin's not in your life, your twin is still a mirror to you, and your twin is still feeling your energy and wanting you to rise, because when you rise, they rise. And so you just have to know the difference. So, and then with twin flames, like, I do get this question a lot, especially with everything that's going on. And I did do a post about it, but I'm being told I should say it here. If you get a lingering feeling that you need to reach out to your twin, and maybe they're in another relationship, or you haven't spoken to them and you don't know where they're at, ask yourself, sit quietly, calm your mind, and say, should I reach out? And if you hear the word yes, then do it. Just send them a message. Do it without expectations. I always tell people that. Don't expect a response. Don't expect them to reply in a certain way, say a certain thing, or just just send them a message to let them know that you're thinking of them. That will warm their heart, even if they don't reply, because you're sending the message. You're taking that leap of faith. You're going out of your comfort zone, because that will speak volumes to your ascension and growth if it doesn't bother you, if they don't respond. And then if it does bother you, then you'll know that trigger, and then you could work on healing. So just know that if you're, and this doesn't have to be a twin flame, this can be anybody. Just reach out to people. I got a text message from a friend who I haven't spoken to since January. He sent me a text last night saying, hey, just want to say hi, thinking of you, hope you and your family are well, sending you love. Like, I couldn't believe I got a text message from someone I haven't spoken to since January. So people are doing it. So if you feel guided to, just send a message. And I replied right away to my friend, and I sent him love and light back. And it was a very touching moment, because of all the people that I know, he would probably be the last person I would think of to send a message, and he did. So just do as you're guided. You trust your intuition.
I got a tiny bit of like a short snippet of guidance while you were speaking, and it was simply, the hello is a gift. So what they mean by that is, if you send a hello, you are sending them a gift. It's like when you give somebody a gift, you don't necessarily expect one in return. Okay, so they're saying it's like at Christmas and you buy someone a gift. There's two types of people. There's those that buy a gift because it's from the heart, and they want that person to have this gift, and they want this person to feel good. And then there's people that buy a gift because they're expecting a gift, or they need a gift in return. So this will be a very distinctive way of you understanding whether you are at the stage of being able to give a gift and just to know that you know that it warms their heart to hear from you, or whether you are still in that muggle state where you are expecting something back. Where you have this, and it's not even expecting something back, because it's okay to visualize yourself receiving something great, and it will happen when it's meant to happen. But if you start feeling anger, frustration, or depression as a result of not getting a gift back, you are still in an area where you have some work to do, and that's the reality.
Yeah. And as you were speaking, I started feeling my throat tighten up. So for those that are thinking about reaching out that possibly might be in this chat, they're saying do it. Send the message. Say hello. Do it.
Yeah.
You'll feel so much better once you do it.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's a gift.
But it's a gift. You're just saying hello. You're sending them the gift to know that you're thinking of them and that they're in your thoughts and they're in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
Well, I see somebody said they reached out and they got and sent him the message. It went good. So yay!
Well done.
I'm happy to
Good
hear
girl.
that.
Brave. Brave, brave, brave. We have to be brave. We are female warriors. That's
Yes.
what we are. Does anyone have any last questions? You guys are quite lucky because, you know, both of us have such a deep knowledge with regards to twin flames. So I did it in person since we worked together. Perfect. Yeah,
Beautiful.
just showing love. Showing love, it's a gift. Showing love, it's a gift. You know, it's so important. We hadn't seen each other in 8 months. Perfect. Any specific questions? Because we are over time now. I feel like we'll probably maybe do a couple more minutes if there's some, questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
I do always find it interesting, particularly a lot of the violet flames, the girls under 35. They, with their twins, they're like, yeah, we haven't spoken 5 months. And then all the blue flames are like, yeah, try 5 years.
Okay,
it's like,
see.
you know.
Yeah. All right. So somebody said, my twin flame ghosted me and I'm nervous about reaching out. Now, as someone who has had my twin ghost me a lot, just reach out, say hello. You can even just say, hello, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're well. Be safe. You can just do it like that. Let's see. We ended up catching up after work. Let's see. What's blue flame?
Jody, you're in my account. The same Jody that everyone thanks. She just signed in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Amelia Happiness Guru wants to know what blue flames are, even though she is, yes, very much a blue flame. So with blue flames, basically we're the teachers of teachers. Blue flames tend to normally be in their 40s. They can be in their late 30s. And they're here for the now. They're here to teach now and to teach the teachers now. It's a very rough parameter. When I speak with a girl, when they do the free call with me, I normally am told what flame they are. But if you are a violet, then you tend to normally be 35 or younger, and you normally tend to actually be more powerful spiritually. You have like literally superpowers, a lot of you, but a lot of you have less work done internally. Maybe you're less stable in your financial world, or you're less stable in your career world. I've got a couple of violets that are very stable, but it's rare. Whereas most of the blues are completely stable at this point, but not all, but most. And the age range thing is just an approximation, because one of my clients there was a lady that I spoke with. She might be on here now, actually, and she's the eldest violet flame I've ever come across. So in the future, I've been shown at a retreat that I'll have the blues in one circle, the violets in the other, and she will be sat with the violets. So the age is just a rough indicator, but I only know really once I speak with somebody.
Okay.
Jody, you're a violet, my darling. Yes.
What if somebody's asking, because they're 25, would they be a violet, or is there another?
No, it's just violets, because they're for the future.
Violet? Okay.
Yeah, they're for the future, and there's nothing written about violets because none of them have bloody written anything yet. But I know who will write, and it's Antoinette, who is very, very esteemed in the spirit world, and she is the global coordinator for our non-gender specific branch of the Empress Evolution, and she is a very highly regarded violet flame, as is June, who I think is on here as well. June has a huge role. There she is, Purple Heart from June. Sylvia, I think you're with me, darling. I think you're a blue. I think you're a young blue, Sylvia. But the thing is obviously we don't need to share everybody's business on here, but Sylvia, you're a young blue that's able to speak with June and the upper violets. You're like, there's like the transition, like in the rainbow where the colors meet. So Sylvia, you're like here touching the violet, and that's why you and June are good, because she's just on this side and you're here. But I do sense instinctively, Sylvia, you're a blue. But Sylvia's the cardiac surgeon lady that looks like a supermodel. That's one of my clients. But so I know her very, very well. She's gone through my program and she's now in my inner circle. Jen, you're a blue with me too. Sorry, these are all my clients asking me their things. It's like, just wait till I chat with you next, guys. Can we do this more often? I think we should. I think
yes,
the Twin community needs us. Yeah. We could start a series. I'm going to do a series with Tabine from Norway, Earth Angel 1444. We will probably do Mondays because Pardus's last one with me is on Monday. So after that, we'll do Mondays. So me and you could choose a day if you like. And we just do it every week on that day. Because the Twin Flame community needs this. Like, this is our time, guys. This is our time. So I introduced it to him. So happy. Thank you, ladies. Can you tell me what color I am? I will need to, we need to delve a bit deeper. It's not when I'm telling people their colors, these are women that I already know deeply. They're like, I have a spiritual connection with them. They're in my, they've actually gone through my program and they're in my inner circle. So ladies that I've just even talking on the phone, it's not that my angels tell me, it's like, it's a deeper process. So with yourself, Teresa, me and you can do a discovery call together and I can work that stuff out for you. So in the discovery call, I get it because it becomes really glaringly obvious, which is another reason why I suggest everyone books a discovery call. Because if you have any burning questions about anything, I can't help but answer it. So basically, you know, they're like, but I really want to know about this. I'm like, okay. And I ask the angels and I tell them the answer. So it's cool. It's cool. Oh gosh. So anything else in this last minute that you feel that we should say, my darling? Oh, can I have her Instagram handle? Are we talking about Pardus? Pardus is Pardus Pink Forever. Hers are all on the Empress Evolution page. Mine's Amelia Happiness Guru. Yours, do you want to tell them yours? I'm not sure who she's asking for. So.
It's at Butterfly Intuition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a picture of her with the dog on the page right now. Everything is on Empress Evolution. Oh, here's a nice question for us to end with. Will twins be working together on the same soul mission? Absolutely yes. But the way that I'm being shown it is, okay, my angels love their analogies. So imagine these two people. For some reason, they want to show them being like they're showing the man as like this tall, blonde, like jock type looking guy he's specifically wearing a gray suit. Okay, so he's over here. Then they're showing a dark haired girl with hair like you, and they both went to like the top schools. So like maybe one went to Harvard and one went to Cambridge or something. Okay, and then they went and got their jobs in these big corporations, and then from there they set up their non-profits. At this point, they run into each other in New York. Do you sit at a special gala for their company, commerce, something? Do you see that they were meant to meet? Like, oh, it's weird. That's the shape of a house. I'll do it smaller. So it's like, he's here, blonde, American, with grey suit on, her lovely black hair, like Extina here. And this is them at their schools, never met each other. Then they go in their careers. Maybe she becomes a lawyer, a corporate lawyer, and he's something else. I have no idea. They're showing like a bridge engineer or something. And then, but because of their businesses, they end up at this place, but they already had their non-profits, and then they go here. So the key thing is you have to do your shit first. You doing your shit gets him to do his shit, and then the point of the house, the top bit here, the spiral, the steeple, if it was a church, that happens because you've both done your journey. There's a lot of people that are here, and then they're like, well, why can't I be there now? And it's like, well, darling, because you've got to go here, and then you got to go here, and then you got to go here. It's like, that's how it happens. Do you know what I mean? So, and you will intrinsically know what your next step's meant to be. It's whatever you're scared of, or whatever you're delaying, or whatever you're coming up with excuses for, whatever you're putting off. I call it the shit list. Write down what's on your shit list of things that you are supposed to be doing, whether it's losing weight or tying or getting your license to be a personal trainer or becoming a Reiki master or setting up a retreat in, my angels are being silly for a minute. They're like setting up a retreat in Yugoslavia, just whatever it is that's you. What's your shit list? And it could be small things as well, like sorting out your sock drawer. Whatever you know is on your list of things that you need to do, get it done, guys, because these are all things that are stopping you getting from the next to the next. And then you get your happy home. Because he gets inspired as you rise, he rises. And then eventually, bam. And then from here, now you're on soul mission together. But the soul mission comes because you guys have done all your training for it. So if you're here, don't complain about not being here yet. It's because you've got shit on your shit list to do. The swearing guru.
I love it.
Shit on your shit list.
Yes. Make a to-do list. This is the time to do it.
Yeah. And knock stuff off it. And put things that you've been putting off in the house, things you've been putting off in your career, things you've been putting off with your health. In fact, there's the idea. Write down one thing for each of those titles. Home, and you can put 3 for each one. 3 things for your home, 3 things for your career, and 3 things for, sorry, my brain's going fuzzy now. Home, career, health.
Health, yeah.
There you go.
Even if you do a cleanse, like I made the pact with myself, I'm not drinking 1 sip of alcohol.
Oh, honey, that's interesting you say that.
Yeah.
The angels told me to quit alcohol on Christmas Eve. That's a very difficult time to quit alcohol.
Yeah.
And I was told to quit for 90 days. And as of the 18th of March, my 90 days was over. So technically, and I was talking about it with girlfriends that we were going to go out for margaritas. I was slightly nervous about it because I was like, oh, it's been so long since I've drunk. Like, I don't want to I don't know. It just felt a bit strange about it. Anyway, on March 18th, my angels just said, well, we're going to keep this going until this thing's over. And I was like, okay. And it feels good to do that. Maybe it's because I need to continue being a pure channeler every time. Like, even when I drink, I can still channel messages, but it's not as good as now.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And they don't want me to numb myself. We drink to numb ourselves. We drink to boost our confidence. We drink for different reasons, but they're not really good things. So we should be able to be happy, and we should be able to be confident, and we should be able to face our current circumstances and deal with them internally. So, hey, that's why we're in alignment, darling, isn't it? We're just getting the same messages.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I kept hearing not yet. And then the minute we went into like the shutdown, right on St. Patty's Day, my guys were like, don't drink. I had friends that went to the bar that day. I'm like, are you insane? Why are you going to the bars? And they closed the bars that night anyway. But ever since then, I'm like, I don't need to drink. I'm just going to do this sober. And I've been like so like focused and so like ready to tackle all these projects. And I've been doing a little every day and cleaning up and purging and like all these messages are coming through. And I'm able to like really like deep into like anyone that does, like I have a bunch of personal readings I have to do the next few days, and like I'm getting so many like more guidance messages to really help people through this time. So it's a blessing that I'm able to just like say, hey, you know what, we don't need this toxic stuff right now. This is the time to just do this sober, do this without any distractions, don't numb, face the fear, face whatever shadows come up. I had a little conflict that happened yesterday. I followed my intuition, and I got confirmation today that I was right, that I handled it correctly. So it's just really important to follow your intuition. So if you're being guided not to drink, not to maybe even do a juice cleanse, or like, you know, eat more vegetables, like just listen to your body. Your body will tell you what you need. Because if you're craving a food, like if your body's saying you should eat more greens or eat mushrooms, because mushrooms are really good, you know, if you like them. But I'm just saying, let's listen to your body. Your body is going to start telling you what you can eat. And if you eat something and you don't feel right afterwards, then just say, okay, maybe I need to cut this out of my diet completely, or kind of pull back on it. So just listen to your body at this time and drink water, which we all should be doing anyway. But since we can still get water at the store, and hopefully toilet paper is coming soon. I keep asking my guys and they laugh at me when I ask, when am I going to be able to see toilet paper on the shelf? Because I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, here's the thing is that it's interesting because I didn't see it either. But then I just was like, my vibe was so high, and I walked into the supermarket and this man just handed me like a 9-pack of toilet paper, and basically they just had a delivery, and this was the first packet that was about to go on the shelves, and then he ended up not putting any on the shelves because every person that walked past wanted him to hand them one. So just know that we can manifest things. Just believe you'll see it. The same way you said water, other people are not seeing water. I had to manifest the water also because I really wanted spring water gallons, and I manifested those as well. So remember our ability to manifest, guys. Yes. And then there was one other thing that my angels just want to add in. Definitely listen to your body with regards to taking things out that are toxic and adding things in that are good for you. But I do want to tell you guys one thing. If you're having sugar cravings, then understand that that's not actually your body. That's actually the parasites and the bacteria in the candida in your stomach asking for the sugar. They want to be fed and they want to hurt you. So if you're craving sugar, just know that that actually is a sign for you to cut out sugar, and it will be hard and you will shake like a crackhead for about 2 or 3 days, but afterwards you won't crave the sugar anymore, because the bacteria will have died. So understand that, okay, guys? It's an important one, because there's really 2 ways we can all go in this thing. We can go up or we can go down. We can put on weight, we can drink lots of alcohol, we can swim around in fear and hang out with lots of toxic people, or we clear out our lives, clear out our bodies, and get really, really focused on what we want to do in life. And this is how we will move into the new world, is because a lot of us are going to come out way better than we went in, and that's guaranteed. Yeah. Oh, yes. One other final thing. There's a gentleman that organizes all these amazing exercise classes, yoga and stuff like that. I will post about him. I'm going live with him on Saturday. So there's no reason for anyone not to get exercise in, because this guy is actually doing online live classes, and he's like one of the best. He was like the top yoga teacher from New York, and now he's in Miami. So these are like the top people, and they are doing classes on lives. From their apartments. So there's no reason. I'm going to do probably the yoga class at 7. I'm thinking about doing that. So just know, guys, there's options. Make sure everybody that doesn't follow Empress Evolution follows Empress Evolution. Everybody that doesn't follow Butterfly Intuition follows Butterfly Intuition, and anyone that doesn't follow my personal page, Amelia Happiness Guru, make sure you follow me there, because that's where you can book a free call with me, and I can help you with any issues that you may have and help talk you through things. And everybody book in with Butterfly Intuition. Oh gosh, it's because people keep arriving and I feel bad. Like,
I know.
We've been on a while now, guys. So all I can say is go back and watch the replay. This is part 2. This will be on replay. Part 1 should already be up, and we're gonna chat. Me and Extina will chat and text each other, and we'll figure out a day, and we can make a series of this. I think it would be a good thing, even if we just do it through until the end of April, until things calm down, you know.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, my darling. Well, I love you lots.
Oh, I love you too.
And I love everybody watching.
Yes.
And if you need anything, DM me. I'm here for you. Okay, guys?
All right. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Take care. Bye-bye.